Hello, 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 everyone. Happy Sunday, happy Sunday, happy Sunday. And this is Leo Brown, the fabulous Leo Brown. And I actually wanted to talk about two things. Two things. Um, One is the Bruce Jenner interview that aired Friday night. And I actually was going to talk about it yesterday, but unfortunately I was too busy to do so. Um, so here are my thoughts on the Bruce Jenner interview. First of all, I thought the interview was absolutely fabulous. I thought, Bruce, honey, you gave me everything I needed when you said, you know what, all right, fine, and you got your scruncho and you pulled it and all the hair just and you whip your hair like, yes, bitch, I'm ready to do my thing. Okay, you came for me, honey, bitch, and so we're gonna do this. And I have to say, when you read Miss Diane Sawyer for filth on her clothes. When she asked you, she said, well, why would you wait until you're 65 to transition? And you basically said, well, I can still rock a sexy pantsuit. And he was like, yeah, yeah, yeah. She was like, yeah, well, yeah, with the white shirt and the black pants and the black shoes. Good. That gave me everything. That shade was wonderful. Okay? Now, about the interview and the whole special in general, I loved it. I loved it. I really did. And I cried. I cried like a baby because I understood. I think anybody who has any form of compassion can understand a transgendered person's plight, whether it be male, whether it be female. No matter what how you identify yourself, it doesn't matter. If you have any ounce of compassion in your heart, you will definitely understand what they go through. Am I trans? No, I am not. But I definitely can relate to the rejection. I can relate to the humiliation. I can relate to the suicide, and wanting to be something that you're not, wanting to please everybody. You know what I mean? And being told that pleasing yourself is wrong. And as someone who identifies as somewhat feminine or flamboyant, I definitely get it because, being teased, being bullied, it's not fun at all. Being made to feel that you are less than human. Uh, and even thinking about it makes me want to cry now. But, just things like that. I definitely can relate to that. And I will say this. There was a point in time where I honestly thought, because I was so thin, that maybe I should be a girl. There was a point until I was, I think, 22, where I thought, well, maybe I should transition. And I seriously considered transitioning to a woman because I thought, well, maybe my life would be better, if I transition into a girl because, I'm so girly, I'm so feminine, I'm so flamboyant, I'm not uber masculine, I don't play sports. And see, that's the thing about the thing, that I loved about the interview with Bruce. And I'm calling her Bruce because we don't know what her name is yet. We don't know what her new name is going to be. But the thing that I loved about Bruce was that you had this person that was the epitome of masculinity. Muscular and can do decathlons and wasn't a box of fucking Wheaties. Wheaties, y'all. Really. Only to say, only to tell us that for decades, not for years, not for months, not for weeks, but for decades, she was battling with her own gender identity. I could not imagine that hell. I really, really couldn't. I couldn't imagine that. I can relate because I battled with my sexual orientation for years. I came out when I was 16. But even after I came out, I thought, well, maybe I am, due to family pressure, due to, being Southern, because I'm from Alabama, and being raised very, very Christian and very sheltered. I thought, well, maybe I should, maybe it's a phase. Maybe it's something that I'm going through or whatever. But the interview was great. And the one thing I loved about the interview was that it really tried, even though 2 hours is not enough time to try to educate people, but I felt that it tried to educate people. It tried to show people that trans people, regardless of gender, are people. Period. They're human beings. They bleed. They have problems just like us. And we don't, and the thing about it, and I'm going to say this, gay men and gay people, some gay people, not all, but some gay people should be ashamed. Because and I'm going to be honest, I've been guilty of it myself, where I've made fun back in the day before I was, educated. I made fun of people that were trans. That's not right. And it's not fair. And I'm very grateful that when I was younger, when I became 18, 19, 20, in my mid to late teens, I befriended a lot of transgender people. And I understood their plight and what they went through. And they were just the most beautiful people. And I've seen the discrimination firsthand too. I remember going to Six Flags St. Louis, boo, for Gay Day, because Six Flags, they have Gay Day here. And I remember going to Six Flags St. Louis, and I believe her name was Jennifer, I think. I think that was her name. I'm not 100% sure. But if you're watching, girl, hit me up. Anyway, and we were going to go swimming. It was when Hurricane Harbor was open. And Hurricane Harbor is the water park. And I remember her she was going into the women's bathroom to change her to a swimsuit. And they were like, no, you can't, some employees were like, no, you can't do that. Blah, 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 blah. And I remember the pain and the look of sadness on her face. And I'm like, why would you do that? Why would you be rude to another human being? Like, I will never understand that. And parents, I really want you to educate yourselves and educate your children. Because whether you know it or not, they're following you. I don't care if your kids are grown. They're still looking to you for guidance. I don't care if they're over 40. Okay? You don't discriminate against anybody. You know what I mean? You don't do that. And that's just not right, and it's not fair, to anyone, regardless of whatever. And that's why I make it a policy on my channel. I don't discriminate against anybody. If you are homophobic, if you're transphobic, if you are, if you have a fear of feminine men, feminine women, masculine men, masculine women, if you have a fear of that, bisexual, it don't matter. Trisexual, I don't care. If you don't like any of that, any of the words I just said, you can exit. Like, you really can. You can leave. Because I don't deal with that on my channel. Or anywhere else for that matter. Now, if you're a dick or a douche, that's a different story. Because you can be all those things and still be a dick and a douche. Trust me. And there's no excuse for that. But I thought it was great. I thought the interview was wonderful. I related to it in a lot of ways. Like I said, before, I related to the discrimination, to the rejection, to the self-rejection. Because what people don't understand is that you are rejecting. This woman was rejecting herself for years. For years. Was rejecting who she really was. That's not fun. And you're living your own private hell. Nobody knows what you're going through. And I commend, and I never thought I'd say this, but I commend Kim Kardashian. I commend Kylie and Brody with your cute self. Oh my God, you're so cute. And Brandon with your beautiful voice. I commend them, the Jenner children and the Kardashian children, for being honest and saying, you know what, we love you anyway. We still see you as dad. And I will say this too. I commend Chloe for even saying, you know what, I get it, but I don't. That's fine. Because here's the thing. People who are gay, people who are of any minority, I don't care if you, hold on just a second, y'all. I gotta move, there we go. Here, move my chair back. People who are of any minority, who are different of any type. I don't care if it's sexual, gender, religious, it doesn't matter. Um, all we really want is honesty. We're not looking for you to be, well, I love you and accept you for who you are. When really in reality, you want to burn us at the stake. Like, stop bullshitting. If you don't like what we do or you don't like who we are, fine, make that known. Now, that doesn't mean go out and kill us. It don't mean hunt us down like wolves or like dogs. That don't mean be a dick just to be one. But what it means is just say, you know what, I'm having a hard time accepting this right now. And also admit that that's your problem. We've accepted ourselves. Trust me, we're not looking for approval. Because as someone who, and I'm gonna say this too, I'm kind of getting really personal. I never thought I would get so personal on the channel, but hey, it is what it is. I came out when I was 16. Okay? When I was 21, my mother and sister wanted me to go to conversion therapy. And they forced me to do like the beginning conversion interview. And this was right when Exodus International was getting a lot of heat because they were finding that the program was not working and it was leading people to suicide. My best friend, who I called and begged him, I said, please come with me. Please come with me with this because I don't want to end up going to this because they were forcing me. Now here I am. I'm a grown man. I'm over 18, but they're forcing me to do this because in their own words, they wanted closure. Okay? And it was hell. It was hell. And if I remember correctly, the man basically said, honey, you're gay. They need to get over the bullshit. And do I think that, fast forward to now, do I think my mother and sister accept me? No. I'm just going to be real with it. No. I mean, don't get me wrong. I would love it for them to embrace me for who I am and every other color in my rainbow, but they don't. And see, that's why for many gay people, bisexual people, lesbian, questioning, queer, transgender, cisgendered people, we end up getting our own families because our blood family stole us away. Because of their own ignorance, their own prejudices, their own lack of compassion. That's really what it is. I mean, and it's sad, but it happens. It happens more often than not. That's why there are so many people who are, I'll call her back, who are homeless, who commit suicide, who are bullied. I was bullied every day when I was in high school. Every day when I was in high school. And a lot of the stuff, I will admit, like, plus I moved around a lot. And a lot of the bullying that I went through, some of it I brought on myself, I will admit, because I was a shit starter in high school. I'm not going to lie about that. But by the time I moved to where I am now, I was a bitch. And I was mean. And I was angry when I was in high school. So, but that's a whole other video. But I'm not saying that that's an excuse. But I do understand why a lot of, and I'm kind of getting off subject, but a lot of, you know, people who identify as, who are under the GLBT umbrella, GLBTQ umbrella, why some of us have chips on our shoulders. I get it. I'm not saying it's right, but I do understand it. And I'm going to say this. I'm here for everybody. I don't care if you're straight. I don't care if you're bi-curious. There's nothing wrong with that either. If you're curious about being with a woman or with a man or a transgendered person, what's wrong with that? Just be honest with yourself. I love you all. I really do. And I thank you for even watching this. And like I said, I thought the interview was fabulous. I thought Diane Sawyer asked the right questions. I thought she was a bit abrasive at times. I won't lie and say I didn't. But I understood why, because I think for her, it was more of an outside looking in. But what I loved about Bruce was that she was candid. She was honest. She was real. She was emotional. She said what a lot of people were thinking. She opened up about everything. She didn't hide anything. She admitted, like, hey, I don't like men. I've never been with a man. And I think it showed like a different type of. It showed a transgender woman that was like, no, I don't like men. I'm not into men. In all intents and purposes, I am a woman. And what struck me the most was that I have a soul of a woman. That struck the biggest chord with me because, from a spiritual perspective, I definitely understood that. Because trust me, I've done enough past life regressions to know I was a woman in at least 4 lifetimes. Okay, I know that. I think more like a woman than I don't get me wrong. I look at myself. I know I'm a man. I know that. I know I have Y chromosomes all through my body. I'm not crazy, but I definitely identify and relate to the woman's plight than I do a man. Not saying that I don't relate to men. I do, but men have a different plight than women. We really do. We have a different road to hoe than most women. But I relate to women because I relate to not being taken serious, not being seen as a threat, or not being seen as a threat at all, being seen as weak, being seen as someone who was easily taken advantage of, um, having something to prove, and I think a lot of women, I don't care how strong you say you are, a lot of women go through that at points in times in their lives where they feel they have something to prove. But I thought it was great. I thought the interview was fantastic. I loved it. I really did. And like I said, I really loved the fact that they tried to educate people and inform people about the transgendered experience. And they showed Laverne Cox and Janet Mock and the I forgot the girl's name, but she ended up becoming prom queen. And that brought me to tears. Because I'm like, finally, people are understanding that beneath all the labels that we put on people, those are human beings. Yes, I mean, I label myself all the time, but I'm still a human being. I'm still a person. I still have issues. I still have feelings. I cry. I have my moments. I get depressed. I'm happy. I'm sad. I'm melancholic. I'm blah. I mean, I'm a human being, and I just thought it was great. And I think that I hope that the interview did change people's perceptions of not just transgendered people, but of gay people, of bi-curious people, of bisexual people, of of straight people, of people who are our allies. Because I know not all people are anti-gay. I know that. I know not all mothers throw away their kids and all fathers disown their children, and I know that. I know that. And especially for gay people of color, for people who are in the GLBTQ community, and we are of color, it is harder for us. We get thrown out. I mean, the transgender murder rate is ridiculous when it comes to women and men of color. It's crazy. No person deserves that. And my thing is, I applaud Bruce for saying, I'm not a spokesperson. I don't want to be a spokesperson, but I do want to help people as much as I can. And I say the same thing. I am not a spokesperson for the GLBT community, but if someone like me is called on, or someone like Bruce, or someone like T.S. Madison is called upon to lend our voices to change, to foster change, then why not do that? You know what I mean? I mean, why not? Because we all have a story. I'm a firm believer in that. We all have a story to tell. Everybody does. So I thought it was great. I really did. I thought the interview was fantastic. I actually hope they re-air it because it was just that good. And I will say this, originally I didn't want to watch it because, I didn't want to be one of those people that was just feeding into the hype of it all. But I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was fantastic. It was. And Bruce, honey, I know you are going to look sick in a year, honey. And I can't wait to see it, baby. Because your hair was giving me everything I needed, honey. Okay? Along with your beautiful smile, honey. So you keep doing you. Keep doing you. I applaud you so much, like for real. And I applaud any person. I don't care if you're black, white, gay, straight. I don't care what you identify or what you relate to or relate with. I don't care what community you are in, honey. I applaud anyone who fights against discrimination of any kind. I really do. I really applaud you. And if I could, I would hug every last one of you through this monitor screen right now. Now, I'm gonna move on. Okay. And see, I didn't want to talk about this, but this is trending right now. This is trending on Facebook, and I keep seeing it in my feed. So I'm gonna talk about it. Wendy Joan. I'm gonna call you by your full name. Wendy Joan Williams. Wendy Joan. You know what? I really, 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 and here's the sad thing about it. I really need you to wake up. Seriously. I need you to wake up and whatever you are smoking or taking or whatever medication you're on, I need you to really quit it cold turkey like you did coke back in the day. I really do. And here's why I say what I'm saying. Because I want you to realize that majority of your fans, majority of your television watchers are not just the stay-at-home moms or the mothers at the water cooler, they're not. It's not just women who are 40 and over. Majority of your fan base are gay people, are transgender people, men and women, are people from the GLBTQ communities, baby. We are the ones that loved you and supported your ass. How dare you? How dare you? Now, let me say this. You have a right to your opinion. You do, no matter how, and we can all agree to disagree. That's just part of being an adult. Okay, you have a right to your opinion, but honey, how dare you sit up here and say that the interview with Bruce and, the pictures that have just come out, that he's being a fame whore. Really? How is she being a fame whore? How? All she is simply doing is living and speaking her truth. That's all she's doing. That's it. Just like you living and speaking your truth, that you got, double D boobs that really don't fit your body type, and that you took back a man that was fucking around on you when you was pregnant. But I digress. You know what I mean? Like, how dare you say that? And how dare you discriminate? And don't you realize, by you making those comments, because she made some comments about Bruce Jenner and all that stuff in the interview, where she did call him a fame whore. Or, excuse me, her a fame whore. I'm sorry. And I'm not trying to be rude or anything, believe me. But how dare you say that? You know what I mean? Like, you're a fame whore because guess what you did during the comments of that? You promoted your own one-woman show, which I would not be going to see if you ever come out here. If you come to St. Louis, honey, I'm not coming for you. Because, you see, you're trying it too much. First, you tried it with Whitney Houston. And Whitney Houston read your ass for dust. Okay? On her show. Then, you tried it with my girl, Lil' Kim. Lil' Kim read your ass via Twitter. Okay? Now you go, see, you playing too much. You are playing way too much. Way too much. And see, now I see why you're getting the backlash you're getting. And the thing of it is, I used to live for you. Oh, and I forgot. Then you really tried it with the Aaliyah movie. But I used to live for you. I used to watch your show. I used to listen to you on the radio. Like, girl, I remember when you were on the radio before, New York and Philadelphia, you ran you out of their cities. But anyway, we not just, whatever. And Kathy Hughes fired your ass from one of her from one of her radio stations, but I digress on that as well. But I used to live for you. Seriously, I used to live for you, like, on radio and, now, I've lost so much respect for you. Like, I really have. Who do you think you are? I understand that you have a right to your opinion, Wendy, but damn. You, like, are you kidding me? Really? Who has a talk show? Who wanted to produce the movie, the Aaliyah movie, which was, a hot fucking mess? Who writes these horrible books that nobody buys? Because I haven't seen well, I know your advice book was on the bestseller list. And, your autobiographies have been on the bestseller list, of course. But I don't know about your other shit. You're wrong for that, Miss Williams. I'm just being honest. Like, you're wrong. And you really need to, I understand you have a right to your opinion, but you really need to really learn to censor yourself. Because I don't care what nobody says. You have not changed. You are still the same messy bitch you have always been and will continue to be. And for all the people that support Wendy, go ahead and support her. I don't have nothing against that. If you like her, you like her. Fine. But I just felt that it was uncalled for and unnecessary. And honestly, excuse me, you've lost a fan. You really have. Like, you've lost a supporter because there was a point in time where I lived for you. Like, I was actually going to, it's funny, I actually wanted to be on your, like I said in a previous video, I said, well, if I ever make it, whatever that is, I would love to be on her show and do couch time with her because she seems so approachable and so fun and so full of life and energy. You've lost a fan. And I actually think you've lost a lot of fans. Not just me, because I'm a little old person. But you've lost a lot of fans when you made those comments. Like I said, majority of your fan base are gay people. How dare you do that? Like, girl, somebody need to take off your them wigs you bought, them wigs that you make. Them especially yours catalog wigs, baby. Somebody need to take them damn wigs and beat you with them. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? That's all I have to say on that. So, this was just my thoughts on the Bruce Jenner interview and, of course, Miss Wendy. I had to go in on her because, yeah. But see, get back to Miss Wendy. Your time is coming, boo. Your time is coming. Like, it really is. One day, you're going to step on the wrong toe. You did it with Nene. Nene read your ass, too. Don't, let's not forget about that. Nene read that ass, too. So, but it's coming, boo. It's coming. But Bruce, boo-boo, I love you. And I love all my trans people, all my gay people, all my lesbians, all my bi-curious, bisexual, cisgender, drag queens. Male and female, drag kings, honey. I love you all. I really do. I love everybody that is courageous and lives in their shit. You live in your truth, I live in mine. I don't care what you do, honey. I don't care what political views you may have, but you live in your truth. You have every right to your opinion. That don't mean I gotta, subscribe to the shit, but it just means that, okay, you have a right to your opinion, and that's fine. But I love everybody. I don't discriminate against anyone. If you're friendly to me, I'm friendly to you. That's just the way it is. So, until next time, this was, of course, the fabulous Leo Brown, and I just had to come on and say this. And I will be back, hopefully tomorrow, doing a video tomorrow and Tuesday. So, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a great week. Talk to you soon.